Traders, investors, what is going on? We are back. So you want to learn how to use Ripster's EMA Clouds. Well, let's jump into it. And so keep in mind you can go on to bigger time frames and use these for bigger plays. But in this video, we're just going to be talking about using these clouds for short swings or intraday trades. So we'll go back to the 10. So anyways, how do you get this? You go to your indicators, type in Ripster, and it'll come up. It's the most used one, obviously. So basically the way these EMA clouds work is you have a low number, it's a fast moving number, and you have a higher number, which is going to be the slower moving number. And so that kind of determines the trend, the direction. So you got your short side of the EMA and you got your long side of the EMA. So for me, the most important thing is the size and color of the bands. Along with other price action levels, volume, what's the MAC doing. So this isn't the end-all be-all, but this is definitely a great tool, and I've really been enjoying it, especially for trading crypto. So let's talk about some bullish, some long examples. So for instance, right here, you see it selling off. First of all, it gaps up this morning, bullish. Kind of gaps up to the level that it was holding at before it sold off further. Also bullish. But the criteria I normally go by is we got the 10 cloud crossing 2 clouds. So we're crossing up here, hitting this 4th cloud, and at open the price action is strong, right? It's pushing above this level. I take that long right there. Ideally what you want to do is scale in, so you take your nibbles or whatever, and then you take the rest. Once you see the trend start to reverse and the trade start to go in the direction that you thought it was going to go in. So the size of the cloud is important to me. You see we got some nice thick clouds in here. So generally speaking, these are all going to be buyable dips. All the clouds are still, green and blue in color. So the price action is bullish. The MAC looks good. But again, we're just going to talk about clouds mainly. And so all these dips are buyable dips. We're just cranking right here. Even right here, a little bit sketchy. But you see none of the clouds have changed color except for these. The first two started to change. And it kind of bounced on the 200. Fell through it a little bit, but buyers stepped in. So let's go for a short example. So right here, we test the 200 again, test the 200 again, but you notice all the clouds are starting to get really thin. And now in here even they're starting to change color. We gapped down, that's also super bearish, right? And all day, we're not trading under the 10 cloud, but we're trading under it most of the day. And then you see it just keeps rejecting the 3450, and that's also bearish. So at that point I'd be getting puts or I'd be going short. You notice all the clouds are starting to get a little bit thicker now and they've changed red or orange. Bearish. Little gap up in the morning, but it sells off at open and you see we continue to reject. And so this is when I'd be looking to take some off. We've came down a good bit. Starting to round out a little bit here. Strong close at the end of the day. So I'd probably be covering at that point and start thinking about going long. So the criteria that we talked about is setting up. We got the 10 cloud crossing 2 clouds to the upside. Not only that, but we have a bounce at open on a level that we were rejecting at the day before, right? So that's bullish, and so I would take that long at that point. And you can use this on anything. I actually really enjoy using these clouds trading crypto. So here's a trade I did. We have this channel that's formed here. Cloud's starting to thin. We're chopping sideways, consolidating. Here's the kind of the medium range right here. And so it starts to break down and we touch the 200. No color change, right, on the 200, still blue. So that's going to be a good buyable dip. So I start to scale in, small little buy there. Waiting to see when this thing turns around. We get a bounce right in the area that we kind of caught at when it first rejected on this little move here. So that would have been a good point to add, but I waited for this cloud to start to turn green. Got another add there. This cloud is still blue, so this is like really bullish. This is still a bullish setup. This would be a viable dip for me. There's our criteria we were talking about. We got 2 clouds crossing. Low risk because you're not buying when it's dipping when all of these clouds are red, right? So the price action is still somewhat positive. So anyways, scaling in the rest of the way here, buying this break right here, and then we go to the upside. And this sell-off I'm pretty sure was based on news. I forget exactly what was going on. I think I got stopped on this. But this is, if I was watching it, this is where I would have gotten out. We got these clouds collapsing on top of themselves. Just really rapid price action too. And so I'd already taken a little bit off, but you know, I got stopped out, but I would have taken the rest of my profits at this point if I didn't get stopped. Anyways, traders, I hope you enjoyed. Please don't murder me in the comments. This is my interpretation of Ripster's cloud system. Let me know if I got something wrong. How do you use it? Let me know in the down there. But anyways, traders, hit the thing, do the stuff, follow me on the stuff and things. If you don't, join the Discord, and I will see you in the next one.